Good morning, Facebook land. I do believe it is time for a little stretching and a strengthening. It's just about 11:11 on this blustery Thursday morning. It's a little blustery, as I mentioned, but still a fine morning, and as good a morning as any to do a little checking in with the body, which is what I'm here to do. Just keeping myself accountable to myself, making movement and playfulness and strength and flexibility a priority in my life, because with that, all else becomes easier. So I'm here to do that and invite you, as usual, to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. If it does, I encourage you to at least take a deep breath and let it go. Maybe try a little wiggle jiggle or shaking things out, letting go of stresses, letting go of what no longer serves you, or at least just setting it down for a little bit. You can choose to pick those stresses back up, or you can wait just a half a sec, a little shake of a lamb's tail, and there'll be more stresses. You don't need to worry about that. They just keep on coming, which is to let go regularly, de-stress regularly. It's my philosophy anyhow. Start with a couple of breaths and a little more shaking it out. Do some shoulder shrugging, breathing in, tensing up. Can even add clenching the fist, clenching the butt, and then just letting it go, letting the arms swing. Let's do a couple more of those. Breathing in. As I was saying, stick on some gold dust and then just blow it off. I'm going to go ahead and do some forward folding, bringing my awareness into the bottoms of my feet, rooting myself into the center of the earth, hanging myself from the center of the universe, giving a little more shaking, and then from the hips, so that's below the waist, with a relatively flat back, making sure not to lock those knees, coming all the way down past the waist, past the hips, and just letting gravity do some unwinding, hanging here from the hips. Do a little wiggle jiggle down here. I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back, coming into a bit of a counter stretch, pushing the hips forward, lifting the eyes and the chest, and then coming back to neutral. Shake it out again. This time I'm going to roll down nice and slow, just checking in with the spine again. See where it's supple, where it's sticky, where it's strong. Just seeing if it has anything to tell me today, and telling it that I love it and that I'm grateful. We're all in this together. My spine, bending the knees again, coming into a counter stretch. Pushing the hips forward, lifting the eyes, lifting the arms, and then coming back to neutral. I'm going to come into a little bit of a wider stance, do a little hip dipping, stretch out those legs a bit, dipping on the left, dipping on the right, dipping on the left, and the right. One more time, left and right, and then I'm going to swan dive down again, relatively flat back, this time from a straddle position, into the center, using my arms on my legs to kind of pull the body from the hips, relaxing the belly, relaxing the back, and then I'm going to pivot both feet over to the left, draping the body over that left, aiming chin for toes, and then pivoting again through center, using both arms again on both legs. Gaze behind the body for a little additional fold, and then pivoting both legs over to the right, folding the body over that right leg, aiming chin for toes on this side. And then pivoting again back to center, both feet parallel, facing forward. And then I'm going to engage the abdominal muscles unlock the knees and roll up nice and slow. Stacking one vertebra on the next, just checking in. Let's do a little free arm swinging, side to side, twisting. Just loosening everybody up. Pivoting weight off of each leg, off the left, off the right, to the right, to the left. I'm going to add a little bit of a Qigong circle up on the top. So I'll take you through it real slow the first time or two and then speed it up with my breath. I'm going to bend the knees, breathing in, raising the arms, and then making a little circle with those arms and stepping back with the left foot onto this left plane, pushing the energy behind me, stepping forward, a little circle up top, and then stepping to the right. Coming up, circling, stepping to the left. Coming back to center. Just breathing that out. The Swan Dive again with a relatively flat back from the hips, coming down past the waist, hanging here, keeping feet under hips. Just check in with the front of the body and roll up. Just checking in with those toes, ankles, shins, knees, rolling up nice and slow, checking in with the thighs, pelvis, hips, torso. I'm going to give a little pat to all the organs. A little smoothing down the arms. Just bringing the whole body together. Rub the hands. Do a little face smoothing. Shaking it off and letting it go. And again, swan diving down. Relatively flat back from the hips. Hanging here. I'm going to come up from the waist now, pulling back with the abdomen, up with the pelvic floor, left elbow over right, pulling these shoulder blades apart and rounding the spine, giving myself a nice hug, and then releasing all that again toward the ground. From the hips, letting the head go, and then coming up again, this time right elbow over left, pulling up in the pelvic floor, back in the abdomen, tucking the chin, give myself a nice hug, pulling those shoulder blades apart, and then releasing all that. From the hips again, do a little wiggle jiggle. Let's go over to the left for a little twist. Raise that left arm to increase that twist, gazing behind or above the body. And then coming back to center. And over to the right, lifting that right arm. And again, back to center. Let's roll up one vertebra at a time, stacking on the next, pushing through the feet, checking in with the spine again, shaking all that out. I'm going to bring arms behind the back, clasping palms, pulling shoulder blades together, pulling elbows together, and then pulling down with those fingers for a deeper back bend, protecting the neck with those shoulder blades, pushing the hips forward, and then bending forward from the hips. Making sure not to lock those knees and bring in the arms with me this time with a relatively flat back again. Just actively stretching. Doing my triceratops imitation. Imagining my ridge back up here. Still just, I'm actively using the muscles of the arms to pull into that stretch through the chest, through the shoulders, through the back. Actively pull to the left a little. Actively pull to the right a little. And then I'm going to passively stretch by relaxing the arms, keeping the hands clasped, and just letting gravity do some stretching. Relaxing all those muscles. Letting elbows and shoulders fall away from each other a little bit. And then again, actively pulling into that stretch, pulling elbows together, pulling shoulders towards each other, pressing palms. Getting a nice stretch through the shoulders, chest and back, and then again, passively stretching, just keeping hands gently clasped, letting gravity do the stretching. Just relaxing through the shoulders, through the chest, through the elbows. One more time, actively pulling to that stretch, pulling elbows towards each other, pulling shoulders towards each other, pressing palms, drawing that triceratops line up overhead, and then again passively stretching, just letting gravity do the unwinding. This time I'm going to bend the elbows, letting those hands drop to the back, checking in with the back of the body. Just give the sacrum and tailbone a little love, a little rubbing. Coming down the back of the body now, checking in with the glutes, the butt, the backs of the thighs, backs of the knees, backs of calves, backs of ankles, back around to the toes, and then I'm going to roll up, just checking in with the front of the body, bringing all that together. Let's come up. Squeezing out the air, coming back to center. Hi Bella, happy Thursday. Stepping back with the left foot into a moderate lunge, pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back, looking for a perpendicular line with the hips, parallel lines with the feet, making sure this front knee is not crunching past those toes. Tucking the tailbone under, looking for a nice, solid, cohesive line between the abdomen and spine, working together. Relaxing those shoulders and bringing arms up overhead. I'm going to push onto the diagonal line, feeling for that energetic line out the heel, through the spine, out the fingertips. Lifting the body again, tipping the tailbone under and pulling that heel forward onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips. Exploring the side plane here, checking in with alignment of fingers. Then I'm going to bend from the hips. I'm going to slide either that back heel out or that front leg forward. And using my right arm and leg against each other for torque, lifting the left arm. Nice side aeroplane pose, gazing up past those left fingertips, giving all those organs a nice wringing out. And bring this hand around the back to reach for that opposite thigh, giving all those organs a little more squeezing, a little more wringing out. Getting some nice popping through the spine there. I'm going to unwind all of that, bringing that arm around on the inside of that right leg, shifting onto the toe of that back leg, bringing weight onto both palms, and then bringing that front leg back to meet the back leg, pushing through palms, through spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, and pressing into both heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. I'm going to swing this body forward, lifting the chest through the shoulders, swiggle my toes back a little bit, keeping those legs pulled together, and let the belly just relax and drop, lifting the eyes, lifting the chest, stretching the front of the body. Add some tongue stretch if you feel inclined. Rock on those toes to kind of vary up that stretch. I'm going to lift the hips, pressing back through the palms, into those heels, a little bit deeper this time. Again, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Getting a nice stretch through the backs of those legs. I'm going to swing that left foot forward in between the hands to a nice deep lunge. I got my unstretchy jeans on again. Triple lined unstretchy jeans because I'm going to go work out in the wind after this. Bring weight onto that front foot and pulling that back foot forward. And hanging here again in forward fold from the hips. Giving that a breath or so to unwind, and then I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back, coming again into a counter stretch, pushing the hips forward, lifting the eyes, lifting the chest, coming back to center, shaking all that out, and stepping back with the right foot to a nice moderate lunge again, pulling the back hip forward, forward hip back, tipping the tailbone under, pressing into that back heel, making sure that the front knee is not crunching past those front toes. Relaxing the shoulders and bringing the arms up overhead. And again, push onto that diagonal line, just feeling for that energetic line out the heel, through the spine, out the fingertips. Still pulling that back hip forward onto the perpendicular line. And then tipping the tailbone under again, coming upright and shifting this back heel forward, opening the hips, coming to the side plane here. Pull this knee out, this hip open. Check in with the arm alignment. Then I'm going to slide that back heel out a little more, bending from the hip into a nice deep side aeroplane pose. Using my left arm and leg against each other for torque and support, and raising the right fingers up to gaze up past those fingertips. Getting a nice squeeze through the torso, through all the organs, around the spine, and increasing that squeeze, bringing this arm around the back side to reach for that thigh, gazing out past that long leg, giving the kidneys and lungs and heart, pancreas and liver and bladders and intestines, all just a little wringing out, a little squeeze, a little hello. Coming around back to the front, bringing both hands on the inside of that left leg, bringing weight onto those hands, and bring that leg back to meet the back leg. Pressing again through palms, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into heels. Let's come forward into a plank position for one slow push-up today. I've been slacking on my push-ups. I'm going to add them back. Keeping the elbows in close to the body. Coming down nice and slow. I'm going to hold here for a breath or so. And then pushing up nice and slow. Let's do that one more time. Down, nice and slow, holding at the bottom, and then pushing back up. That's two push-ups. Let's do one more. Going big time. 3 push-ups. Raising the hips, pushing back through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into those heels. And I'm going to swing that right foot forward in between the hands. I like to do a little bounce in that deep lunge. I can see somebody saying something to me, but I can't quite see who or what it is. But thank you for the love. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to step forward with that back foot, hanging here again in forward fold. Letting the spine unwind. I'm going to roll up nice and slow, stacking one vertebrae on the next, pushing through the heels or feet, up through the spine. Shake that out. I see my belt's not done right. Why didn't you tell me? Just kidding. All right, I'm going to do just a little balancing, bringing my weight onto the right, bringing the left knee up toward left shoulder, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing that supporting leg and foot. Let's do a little ankle rotation on that left side. Let's do some medium circles from the knee. Just checking in with that knee joint. And then some big circles from the hip. Really focusing on that supporting side, just staying nice and relaxed and firm all at the same time. Going the other way. Bring your weight onto the left. Bring this right knee up toward right shoulder. Relaxing the shoulders, tipping the tailbone under. Relaxing that supporting leg and foot. Let's do some ankle rotations on this side. And the other way. Don't forget to breathe and smile or scowl and hold your breath. The choice is yours. I prefer breathing and smiling myself, but you can let me know if you prefer scowling and holding your breath, how that's working out for you. Do big circles from the hip. Again, trying to really relax that supporting foot and leg. Trying to really stay nice and long and strong through the core, abdomen and spine working together. Setting that down. Shake that out. I think a couple more sighs. I got no clap snaps in these poor swollen sore hands lately. They are just nubs of hurtiness. That's all right. I'm still grateful for them. I got contacts in today, so my glasses do me no good. Everything's just mildly blurry, and that's good too. I'm going to take my very soft sweatshirt, hug it, and then I'm actually going to do my inverted poses. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for loving yourself. I hope you're remembering to take care of your body. It's one thing you can't live without. Taking time to breathe and smile, stretch, strengthen. Let me know if you have any requests, any thoughts, any things that you would like my help with. Happy to give it a go if I can. Ciao for now.